Okay, it is Wednesday, April 3rd. I'm working with the new system, and Uriel is my director. It's time to draw upon my strength, to know that I am solid. I am as solid and sure as a rooted tree. Sandalphon, to send my roots deep into the earth, through the soles of my feet, through the base of my spine. Solid taproot with many outshoots deep within the earth. And I stand strong, firm, solid as the oak, and yet flexible like the willow tree, able to bend and sway in the wind. Nothing can knock me down. I am centered and fastened to the ground, and my spirit becomes stable. My soul deepens, and my dreams that remain in the mystery, manifest into reality in the most positive and abundant way. And I find meaning in the physical world. I find meaning by being free in nature, meaning I am me, I am natural, I am my authentic self, both animal and human and spirit. And because I am able to be me, my authentic self, I allow others to be who they are. And I take the action right now to construct a solid foundation that will last. And this requires my patience. I live in the present. I relax when I need to relax. I take breaks when I need to take breaks. I return to the garden of life. And my happiness comes through building this foundation. I know that I am creating a solid base for the fulfillment of my life's purpose, something I've worked for all my life. And I'm not going to let it go now. I'm not going to let it collapse. This matter is what is essential to me right now, in the present moment. And I am building it to last. This is what is real to me. This is what I have proven again and again as I walked along my path in the mystery. This is what creates a solid foundation that will be my legacy to the world. It will be the gift that keeps on giving. That's what I wish to create. And I don't need to rush. I don't need to criticize myself in any way. And all stubbornness falls away from me. I allow myself to be vulnerable in the world. And I must combine these gifts that I have built over the years. I must combine them with the mystery of the black moon. I must always think about what might manifest over anger, bitterness, or revenge. I must remember that what I have worked so hard to create would collapse in a second. Astrologically, black moon Lilith represents soul expansion and cosmological awareness. Cosmological awareness is the force in aloneness and the path of the individual. So combining the earth element with black moon Lilith, the mystery, the screech owl, the night hag, the goddess of mystery and transformation, much maligned in the human world. The black moon, the mystery of soul expansion, the path of the individual at crossroads with cosmological awareness, the force in aloneness, coming to terms in a way that shift power and consciousness. And this requires an understanding that things must be destroyed before new can be created. But not everything has to be destroyed. It must be determined what has value already and is worth taking along with us. A shift in power and consciousness. Destruction before creation. The feminine force of command and strength. These are powers we all hold in secret. Our shadow side. The shadow side is the dark face of the moon, where mysteries and unexplained occurrences lie in wait for us. And when this appears as a life purpose, understanding of this is what is required to be happy. It's a call to our wildness, and that frightens us. What does it mean, a call to wildness? Well, it means that you have to be willing to allow anything that may or may not be in your subconscious to come to the surface, to take a look at it, to process it. And why? Why is that important? It's important because if we don't have a look at it, it can manifest as madness. If we refuse and deny to look at what wants to emerge from our inner self, our deepest inner self, it can drive us crazy. And even when we willingly allow it to come to the surface, we go through a struggle of chaos and confusion because we want it to come, but we don't want to look. And that too makes us feel like, maybe we're batshit crazy. Maybe we're going off the deep end. But if we allow whatever this is to emerge from the depths of our being in a stable, a slow, a steady, wise way, looking at it bits and pieces at a time, step by step, not the whole thing at once, which would overwhelm us, but just looking at it, each little bit that emerges, that's lying there on the top of the water, pulling it in, reeling it in like a fish into the boat, and having a look at it, we end up in self-realization. But to do this, we cannot give in. When the waters get rough, we stay with it. If we're thrown out of the boat, we trust that we'll be hauled to the surface and put back in the boat. And who do we trust? We trust in our higher self and those connected with our higher self. And that can be whoever it needs to be for you. For me, recently, it was Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, or Christ consciousness, or Jesus. Jesus, the man representing Christ consciousness. And when I fell out of the boat, or let me put it differently, not sure I fell out of the boat. The I know as me But when my masculine energy wanted to emerge from the depths, I was afraid of it. I was afraid of what it might ask me to do. And my feminine energy was afraid to do it. And I didn't even know what the it was. I just knew the feeling. The feeling was so fearful. I had a dream, and I dreamt that Mary Magdalene threw the anchor into the deep water for me. And what she pulled up with that anchor was a teenage boy, a kind of chunky teenage boy, not necessarily strong and sturdy, but more unused muscles that were puffy as if filled with water. And in this dream, this young boy was hanging on the side of the boat, and my initial instinct was, oh, I'll save you, I'll save you. And then I thought, no, that's my pattern. It's not up to me to save this boy. And then I didn't know what to think about myself, because why wouldn't I help a human being who was drowning get into the boat to safety? And neither Christ consciousness nor Mary Magdalene took another hand or stance. They just left it up to me. That's been about 2 or 3 months ago. And I have worked with this dream over these 2 or 3 months, thinking it meant many things along the way. I was saving my son. No. Or I wouldn't save my son. How could I do such a terrible thing as a mother? No. Many scenarios played themselves out in my mind, in my heart, until finally I realized this was my ancient masculine, divine masculine energy that was drowning because I wouldn't allow him to enter my body. I wouldn't allow him to come into my body, even though I wanted it so badly. But for some reason, something was holding me back from receiving and accepting my own divine masculine energy into my body. And so I asked Mary Magdalene to be the divine alchemist, to help me to be the divine alchemist, to transform whatever the energies that were keeping me from embracing my divine masculine. And I came to understand that it has been the 2,000 years of shaming by them, by it, of being envious of it, of feeling guilty and rejected because of it, of feeling replaced or slighted or overlooked, of being made to appear to be the wicked witch, haunting trees and bat in the night, the cold of night. I resented the demands of masculine power, control, of thinking they were the smart ones, outsmarting the feminine. I felt resentment because they won. For 2,000 years, they had control. And I felt guilty too, because I knew there were lifetimes I've spent as a man in a male body. But did I have the full power of my masculine divine energy during those lifetimes? I think not. And I think that is what we are experiencing in the world today. And we are trying to determine, what do we allow to survive? What stays alive within us? How do we balance the karma of the past and create a new expression? And I realize now that the hallmark of the black moon energy is feminine revenge, muteness, staying quiet, and feeling alone. We have subdued our power and complicated magnetism. This subdued magnetism and darkened feminine power has festered in the depths of the ocean. It is what keeps us awake while the rest of the world sleeps. It is the dark thoughts that enter our consciousness just before sleep. It is the rebellious female, the angry mother, the enemy, the embittered woman, the stalker, the scorned woman. We are waiting for something to happen, but we do not have all the information, or the facts seem hidden or mysterious. It feels as though something stalks us continually. We feel it. We know it. We sense it. We are sharp. We process what is there. And when we process what is there, we let go of feeling slighted. We let go of shame, envy, guilt, rejection, being overlooked, being made into witches, evil witches. We let go of the current demands of power, control, outsmarting the opposition, needing to win, because we know that light, love, and the courage that comes with it survives, stays alive, because it has not died. It balances karma and becomes our creative expression when we are reunited with our own divine masculine energy. When we are loving enough to be able to receive the divine masculine energy of our own individuality, our own personality, our own soul essence. And our soul expands, and we move along this path of love, the path of the individual loving itself in wholeness, in completeness, in truth, in beauty. And we become the healing bridge that unites the divine feminine with the divine masculine within our own personal body, in our own unique way. And we become responsible and stable and strong, rooted like the tree, deep tap root in the center, with tributary roots in all directions, deep in the earth. sturdy as the oak, steady and reliable as the sturdy oak, and flexible and willowy as the beautiful willow tree standing at the edge of the river of life, swaying in the breeze, bending in the wind, remaining rooted deep within the soil. You do not break, you bend. You stand tall. You reach for the sky. You take the high road. And all of the darkness going on within the world flows beneath you. The river flows right beneath you. You are aware of what's going on, but you do not participate in the turmoil. This is who you are. This is your life purpose. You are a transformer of energy. Simply by being alive. And your strength comes in your ability to hold your sword at the ready in front of your heart, defending your heart and all hearts. You do not threaten with your sword. You simply hold your sword upright in front of your heart. And this sword becomes a mirror, a double-sided mirror that protects you and shows the truth to those who face you. And you are able to stand in the depths of darkness with this sword in front of your heart and never be harmed. The darkness cannot touch you, for the darkness will see itself and it will be reflected back upon itself, and it will wither and die, or it will transform. It is up to them, to it. This is your sword of love. This is the sword of light. This is the sword of true courage. And you can be the most docile, gentle person. The willow bending in the wind. And at the same time, you can be the strong, sturdy oak tree or redwood tree, any tree that suits your fancy. This is who you are. This is your life purpose in this moment. And from this state, you will creatively express who you are into the world. So be it, and so it is. I am Uriel, the Archangel of wisdom, of courage, of light and love, serving you today. Be all that you are. Simply be natural. Be yourself. Be nature. Learn from nature. and hold your sword of love aloft, directing it toward the sky, toward heaven, not toward earth. Holding it directly in front of your heart, and you shall be protected. For we are with you. All of the angels and archangels, ascended masters, saints, gods and goddesses, saints, we are with you, and no harm shall come to you as long as you trust. You trust that we are here, and we are serving you as we serve each and every person who asks for our help. So be it.